first thing you want to do is expand. What does it mean to expand if we have brackets? What do I do with this? So we're taking the term outside the bracket and we're going to distribute it. So we're going to multiply it by each term inside the bracket, and each term includes the sign that goes with it, right? So 3 times y squared would be 3y squared, and then 3 times y, positive y, would just be positive 3y, right? And then 3 times negative 2, positive and a negative, negative 6. Good. Now we have a negative 2 in front of the second bracket. So we have to do the same thing. We need to distribute this term, multiply it by each term inside the second bracket. Okay? So I'll do the first one. Negative 2 times y squared would be negative 2y squared. So you have negative 2 times positive 2y. Negative times a positive is negative. So you simplify that to negative. 2 times 2 is 4y. The last one is negative 2 times positive 4. What's a negative times a positive?
A negative.
2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so now we're done expanding. We need to simplify. So we're going to collect all our like terms. So let's start with the first term. Are there any other terms that are like 3y squared? Any other term that has a y and to the power of 2? Which term is like this term?
2 to 2y to the
Good.
2y squared.
We have to include the negative, okay?
Negative 2y squared.
And then we have, so there's no more y squared terms. So let's go to the next one. We have a term with a y. Are there any other terms that have y?
Negative 4y.
Good. And that's it. And then last but not least,
Negative 6, negative 8.
good. We have 2 terms that are just numbers, so just constant terms. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. I'll color code it. I have 3y squared and negative 2y squared. Those can be combined. Okay, then I have positive 3y and negative 4y. Those can be combined. And then I have negative 6 and negative 8, and I can combine those. So now we're going to simplify it. 3y squared take away 2y squared is 1y squared. 3y take away 4y. So 3 take away 4 is negative 1y. So then we have negative 6 take away 8 is negative 14. And that's our final answer. We could rewrite this without putting the ones. Okay, doesn't matter. Y squared minus y minus 14 is the same thing. And I know it's simplified because I have 3 terms that are unlike. I can't combine those. I can't make it any shorter. Okay, so we have 2x needs to be multiplied by 3x, and then we have to multiply it by negative 2, right? When we multiply variable terms, we multiply the numerical part first. So what's 2 times 3?
6.
Good. And then we are multiplying x times x. And we can imagine that this is x to the power of 1 times x to the power of 1. What do you do when you multiply powers with the same base? So when we multiply powers with the same base, we write the base, then we add the exponents together. So it's going to be, so 2x times 3x is 6x squared. Multiply 2x times negative 2. Positive times a negative, negative, and then 2x times 2, 4x. So the next term here is plus x squared. We don't multiply that by 2x because it's not in the bracket. So I'm just going to rewrite this as plus x squared. Okay, we don't distribute anything over the x squared because it's not in the bracket. But now we have another bracket, so we have to distribute. We have to multiply this term, so it's only the term in front of the bracket that gets distributed. okay? So we're gonna multiply 2 times x squared. Good, plus 2x squared. And then 2 times positive 3.
6.
Good. So we're combining our like terms. We have 6x squared. We have plus x squared, or I can write plus 1x squared, plus 2x squared. Do we have anything that can be combined with negative 4x? Do you have any more x terms?
No.
Nope, so I'm just going to write that by itself. And then we have a constant term, so a number by itself. And that's the only term like that. Okay, so we're really only simplifying these 3 terms. What's 6 plus 1 plus 2?
9.
Good, so it's going to be 9x squared minus 4x plus 6. And that's our final answer. We have an x squared term, an x term, and a constant term. We've simplified it.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.